Everybody, I thought I'd give you a little update about tea, you know? Testosterone. Or, you know what, actually, I think it might be pronounced testosterone. I have been on it since November, and I have noticed lately that I don't cry anymore. I don't think I've had a good cry in like 3 weeks. I used to cry probably 6 times a week. I was a big crier my whole life. Like my whole life, that's naturally just been something that I've done a lot. I equally as often happy crying as sad crying, to be honest. It was just something that happened. I now understand that was probably my only weapon, given my former demographic. Anyway, but I'm no longer crying anymore. But it's certainly not because I'm not feeling, because I am feeling. I am feeling. There's so many feelings, you guys. Every pore of mine is full of feeling. But the tears don't come out. Earlier today, I was on the phone with my best friend. They said something so casually devastating that I normally would just burst into tears. We've done that a lot in our relationship. One of us will be telling a story and the other one of us will start crying. We're like, oh my God, I didn't realize my life was that hard, because to me it's just a story that I've gotten through. But he told me something today that was so devastating that I like sat there and actually I tried to cry. Like my lips were doing the thing, but nothing was coming out. And then so have you seen the 1984 cult classic Dune? And here, Fluff, I'm thinking about you right now. But like in the times when I normally would cry, I sort of like look around waiting for the tears to come. And in my head, I get this thought, which is the Kyle MacLachlan phrase from the 1984 Dune. He doesn't say it with his mouth. It's through the thoughts voice, which I know everyone thinks is campy, but I think is awesome. I love having the disembodied thoughts of whoever it is walking around the screen just come out of nowhere, just out of the speakers, so I know what they're thinking, but I don't have to see them talk about it. Anyway, but he has this voiceover thing and he goes, "Where are my feelings?" And that's how I feel. I'm like, for me, it's more just where are my tears? But it's just like, I don't know. But where do they go? Where do the tears go when you stop crying them? Like, and does that mean that I'm gonna have to get stuff out of me in a different way if I'm not like venting it and releasing it via tear duct, aqueduct? I don't know. Also, 1984 Dune though. It was a really good movie. It wasn't. It was a terrible movie, but there's so much about it. But anyway, Testosterone is going well. Did you know that one time I actually went to a viewing of the 1984 movie Dune that was held specially at my at my queer burner friend's house in Minneapolis? I bought a t-shirt specifically to watch it because that's how much of a nerd about that movie I've been my whole life. And like, and I do, and I have this thing about moisture too. I don't know. Anyway, but it's okay. Testosterone is going well. And also another thing is, because I feel like a new man and I feel like I'm having a coming of age thing, I do think about Paul Atreides almost all the time. Pax Atreides, if you will. There's also other characters and from Ender's Game, other ones, but those are the two that come to mind for me the most often because I am those characters. I don't know what to do with that given my current set of variables, but I'm working it out. I'm becoming manly. I desperately need a haircut. And I'm so dysphoric about it because ultimately, like when you have a man haircut, it gets longer, it turns into a pixie cut. I don't want a pixie cut. But I have decided that I think maybe what I'm gonna do is next time I can raise money. Also, I have a clippers in my A wish list in my link in bio. But I think I might just buzz my head for a while so that I can have there's a lot of reasons. And I think it would be really good for me to do a few times. But so the hair is really annoying because I'm talking about trans stuff. That's why I'm saying this. More trans stuff is that my sex drive only happens under certain variables, which isn't very often, and that's fine. But when it does happen, that's cool, but weird, but cool. Also, it feels really good to be finally starting to feel like what I'm supposed to feel like inside myself. I'm starting to be able to feel things too. I'm working on developing interoception, and I've been working on that hardcore for months and months. I'm almost there. I recently was able to clear a lot of the swelling and edema out of my body because of this Qigong practice that I've been doing. I'm doing a lot of really good stuff for myself. I started flossing. I can now floss without it looking like an unalive scene. Never done that before. Never been able to floss in my life. I've never had a self-care routine. I've never washed my face. And I do that now. It's amazing how when you're being the person, when you're trying to go towards being the person you want to be, suddenly you actually want to do the right stuff for yourself. I want to live now. That is why I'm flossing. And I don't think people understand that because people are like, if you're not flossing, you have depression. And that's what it means. It means you don't floss when you don't want to live. But I want to live, so I'm flossing. I'm really proud of myself and really happy, and I understand now why I could never do that before. I'm awesome. I went to the library yesterday. I'm writing a book it's going to be a manosphere book. I came up with with an alias to use, like a pen name. So I'm going to be releasing a manosphere book as very mannish man, and see how that comes out. So I won't be as Pax, it'll be somebody else, a character I'm so excited about. I came up with it at the library yesterday. Anyway, so Testosterone is going well. I have about a month and a half left of it, and but I do have a prescriber. So if I can find a place that can, I still have a valid prescription, so I can try to find some place online and just pay for it out of pocket. I'll have to raise the money for that too. But Testosterone's going well, and it is amazing how much I love chicken nuggets and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce now. Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, I don't know what it is. Like, why? I mean, testosterone. All right, bye, friends.